Hello and welcome. Today I want to talk about Final Fantasy V and the class system in Final Fantasy V. I've just finished a game, like a few hours ago actually, and one of the biggest appeals of this game to me was the class system and the way you could build out your party. It's a lot different than 4 or 2 or 1. It's kind of similar to 3 in that Final Fantasy V also has a job system, and you unlock jobs as you recover crystals or crystal shards. So that's similar to 3, but 5 is, I would say, like the next iteration of this game. So this is actually my final party, and I'll go check this out after I kind of talk about some of the basics. So I'm not that great at this. I've just started basically looking into building classes, and this is my first playthrough through the game. So let me just kind of show you all, how I structure things and what you can do and why this game is so great because of its jobs system. So in 3, you had a job system that relied on, you unlock new jobs through collecting crystals, but whenever you switch from job to job, the jobs don't really affect each other. So if you were, let's say, a ninja and then you switch to a monk, you wouldn't have one and the other class interacting with each other in that character. You would just be one class or the other. And that's how Final Fantasy III kind of set that up. It also had kind of like I want to say advanced classes. So back in the day of Final Fantasy I, if you started as a warrior, I believe, you would eventually upgrade to a knight. And Final Fantasy III, as an example, and I think there was a black mage would upgrade to a black wizard, white mage to a white wizard, and monk to a master, or ninja to a samurai, something like that. Like each class had an upgrade in Final Fantasy I. In Final Fantasy III, you got new jobs, and those would be upgrades. So you would have a white mage, white wizard, and white sage, and same for the black mage and the red mage, and some of the other classes also had kind of these implied upgrades as you went, which I actually missed on my first playthrough of Final Fantasy III. I got all the way to the end with a white mage, and I was wondering, what? And then I upgraded to white sage, and I'm like, oh my god, I've been playing this game on hard mode. So here's the cool thing about Final Fantasy V. The idea behind this job system is a little different. You see these 3 stars above some of these classes? These are classes that I've mastered. So you have 2 different ways that you level up. One of them is the regular leveling up. My characters are level 44, 43, 44, 44. And then under some of these classes, like Red Mage, you see level 3. So each class has the ability, or I guess most classes have the ability to be mastered. Freelancer can't be mastered. That's like the base class. I think it was an Onion Knight in Final Fantasy III, or something similar, or Freelancer, I guess, as well. So if I look at my character and kind of want to switch their jobs, I can see the jobs that I've mastered. And what does it mean when you master a job? So you level it up all the way. And what's cool is that each job grants you some kind of ability. So, and each job that you have, or at least most jobs, give you the ability to pick one special ability that may not be aligned with the class. So I have a Red Mage. I have the job command that's called Red, and that's an ability that I can't switch. So anytime I play Red Mage, this is built in. But my second ability, down here on the bottom, I can actually switch between all of the different abilities that I've gained as a result of playing different classes. So what I can do here is I can use the summon ability of a summoner and use that as a red mage. So that's pretty powerful, because not only do I have access to white and black magic, maybe not the highest level, but enough, I have the ability to use summon. There are other abilities here, like for example I could use Gaia, kind of see the explanation there on the bottom. And I could just use my white magic ability, which gives me the ability to cast not only black magic under the red job command, but also the high level white magic. So you can kind of like mix and match your abilities. Now most of these, like I said, you have one slot that you can fill up with something, anything that you want. Toward the end of the game, as you level up all these different jobs, like look, I mastered Black Mage, and I mastered Time Mage, and I mastered Red Mage. So toward the end of the game, you can switch to one of these two classes here, Freelancer or Mime, and that gives you the ability to pick way more, basically customize your build way more. So in here, instead of having a job command, I can actually pick two different abilities that I want my Freelancer to have. Not only that, but there are two different kinds of abilities. There are like these active ones, like Zeninage, which is like basically throwing money at the enemy. You know, throw, which is kind of cool. Like imagine if you have a, I don't know, a Spellblade user, so I can enchant my weapons, but I can also throw weapons if I really want to. And in my case, I'm using Guard and Spellblade together. So these are active, but then there are these passive ones like Equip Armor, Equip Swords, Dual Wield. And when you play as a Freelancer, you get all of these passive abilities. Anything that I believe it's anything that you've mastered, you get that as a passive ability. So for example, this Magic Shell, it actually gets cast. So this character, when they get attacked and they're, you know, when they're near KO, they actually cast that Magic Shell ability, but that only works if you're a Freelancer. So you give up basically getting more XP for your classes for an optimized build, and that's why it makes sense at the end of the game once you've mastered all the classes you want to. So what this character now does is that they dual wield, so they have two swords. They use Spellblade, and Spellblade is an ability where you enchant your weapon in the middle of the battle, and essentially you cast like Flare on it or something, and then when your character attacks, and I believe it's either the first or both attacks, they will not only do physical damage, but they'll also cause some of the magical damage, which is something to watch out for actually if you have an enemy that you know, will counterattack magical abilities, which happens toward the end of the game. You'll cast Spellblade on your weapons, and you're like, yeah, I'm doing so much damage, but every single time you hit, you get counterattacked. So you can pair these two things together. So suddenly you have two enchanted swords, and you get the Magic Shell, you get all these different abilities. And that's what kind of makes it exciting for me. So here I have Ferris, and Ferris mastered Ninja, Dragoon, and Mystic Knight, and Ranger. And let's see what that means for my character. It means that I can use this ability called Rapid Fire, which is a ability you get when you master Ranger. And for a Ranger, that means that you shoot like 4 arrows or something like that. But for a dual-wielding physical attacker with swords, that means that you attack 4 times per weapon. So all of a sudden, you're attacking 8 times because you paired dual wield, meaning mastering Ninja, and Rapid Fire, meaning mastering Ranger. Now, if you add Spellblade to it, meaning you, what is it called? A Mystical Knight. If you master Mystical Knight, you can combine all 3 of these to do 8 attacks that are both physical, and they cast some kind of spell. So on some monsters, I would literally have, I don't know, 3,000 HP damage per attack. So it would be like, 4 times 3,000 and then 4 times 3,000, and it would just do a massive amount of damage. So that's kind of the cool thing here with the job system. Here I have Krilly, or I think that's her name. Let's see. She's using the class Mime, which is a class you have to kind of do a side quest for to get. But Freelancer is great for physical attackers, and Mime is actually a great character to have for magicians. And the reason being, this doesn't really explain it here. Look at that, skilled mimics. Okay, yeah, so you can use the ability Mimic, which what that means is that whatever attack happened before you by one of your party members, you can do it as well. That includes summons. So if you have a summoner who casts Bahamut, and then you have Krilly with Mime or Mimic, cast Mimic, she will also cast Summoner. But she's got Red Mage. Red Mage's master ability is the ability to cast twice in a single turn. So that's kind of powerful, right? Like, you can literally do 2 different attacks. And I've also mastered Black and Time Mage. So what that meant is that I was able to use the highest level Time and Black magic in a single turn, right? So you'd have something like, let's see, I could cast Haste Ga to cast haste on every one of my characters with time magic. So you'd go to dual cast and you'd pick that, and then as my second ability I could cast Flare on the enemy. So not only am I buffing the party, but I'm also attacking. And I finally get to it in my other save, but I did the same with Lena, and Lena did Summon and White Magic. Summon does not get dual casted, but having White Magic be able to cast twice is amazing, because you can cast Rise or Raise on one of your dead characters, which is great, and then you can cast Curaga to cure all of your characters except for that dead character. It's kind of a weird thing. It's almost as if those two spells happen simultaneously. I think that's what it's supposed to mean. So if you cast Heal and Raise at the same time, the character will get raised, but the rest of the party will get healed. So it is, you know, or if you lose a lot of HP, you can cast Curaga like twice. It is amazing, and I really love like how you can pair these together. So let me real quick, how can I get out? I can do a quick save, right? Save and quit, there we go. Let me go to my latest save real quick and kind of demonstrate how all these abilities work together. I'm not going to go fight X-Death, but minor spoiler, right? Like, this is the end of the game, if you haven't seen it. There we go. So you can see that both Lena and Curly are mimes, and Bartz is a freelancer, and Ferris is a freelancer. Yeah, I want to load it. And here are their abilities. So I have Throw and Zeninage. Zeninage is the ability to throw money, basically. I'm going to change that out. That was for my final battle. And then I have the Throw ability, which is great. Plus, he still has like a lot of, you know, he does a lot of damage with both Excalibur and the ability to use a Holy Lance. Like, it's a little bit ridiculous. Then you have Lena, like I said, Summon and White Magic. Krilly is Time and Black Magic plus Dual Cast, and Ferris is Rapid Fire and Spellblade. So let's see what that looks like in practice. And it's really cool that you can just like combine all these things. Okay, so let's do Spellblade, and I'm gonna go ahead and enchant my weapon with Flare. I can still do the same thing with Bartz. And then I can do this dual cast, where I can do... this is something I like to do on like easy monsters, so I'll do Haste, and then I'll also do Sloga, so I can speed us up and slow down the enemy. And these are like lower level... I don't want to say lower level, but they're low enough level that I can that slow actually hits. Then I can do, with White Magic, I can cast, let's see, why not just Berserk on Bartz, and I can still cast something else, and I can cast, let's say, Holy on this character here. So I'm casting Berserk, and I'm casting Holy in the same turn at the same time. And just being able to combine these different ideas together is so much fun, and it's so amazing. Uh-oh. Getting hit over here. It would be really funny if I died in this one. So let's do Rapid Fire. Rapid Fire means that even if the animation doesn't show up, I should be able to cast Flare for every single attack. So that's 1,000, 2,000, 1,000, 2,000. I don't know exactly how this works, but I believe only one of the weapons is actually, you know, enchanted. I don't know exactly, but here, now I could cast Flare twice. So it definitely drains a lot of mana, and you might have noticed this, but I don't have access to items or regular attacks as a Mime, which is a pain, because there are quite a few like abilities that I find, you know, you can't put Ether on yourself, and if you have Osmos, that's great, so you can like, you know, cast Osmos twice. I think it's a spell, right? And have that ability. I think that's the end of the battle. Yeah. So. Maybe you missed this, but Lena was trying to cast Summon and Summon a Golem in order to protect the party from physical attacks. So you have all of these things working together, and there is a summon that I don't currently have on Lena, and I think it's somewhere over here in these two empty spots, but it's a summon that will cast Reflect on the entire party. So there are some really useful small summons that you could like take advantage of, and one that I took advantage of was Phoenix. 99 MP, yeah. So what it'll do is attack every single enemy, but resurrect one of your characters with all their HP and MP working. So in the final battle, when Krilly died, I was able to resurrect her, refill her MP, so she has all of the MP she needs for casting spells, and attack the enemy. Maybe not for a lot, but it was still useful. So that's kind of it for for the system here, for the class system. There's just so many like small little fun things you can do with it. There are a lot of different jobs that have, you know, interesting final abilities. I don't remember all of them, but you have, you know, Dragoon obviously is going to have the jump ability, so that's something you can carry over with you, and it basically works the same way on whatever weapon you're trying to use. Let's see, Samurai, I don't remember what the final, yeah, I never mastered that one. But you have, you know, Chemist who can mix stuff together, so you could technically have a character that can mix potions, but also, I don't know, have white magic mastered, so they can, you know, buff, but also use items to buff. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend playing this game just for this one feature here. Let's do one more battle before I sign off, just so that it's kind of nicely wrapped up. And I don't, you know what, maybe we can go against, no, I don't want to do too many spoilers here. Oh no, this is just taking forever. Let's go back. So, there we go. So I can actually run into some enemies here. So lots of different combos that you can do here. Oh, I've never played against this one, so we can do rapid fire. I can throw. Let's see. I mean, look at this. I can technically throw like a lightning scroll, so I can cast, you know, lightning. That's kind of interesting. Like, imagine if Bartz's physical attacks don't work, or physical attacks get countered, so that if he enchants his weapon, you know, the spell might hit, but the physical attack will cause a counter attack. You can throw scrolls, right? Like, you're technically casting magic. Okay, so look at this. Let's do Mimic. Let's see if that works. Yep. And so using Mimic, all three of them were able to cast the same exact thing. So that's kind of like an interesting ability. And the best way to utilize this, let's see if we can time it correctly. Yeah, rapid fire. Rapid fire is great, especially against a lot of smaller enemies. I've had Ferris before, like, kill off, you know, half the enemies, just because once it actually calculates that it'll kill the enemy, it moves on to the next one, so it doesn't waste any attacks. But let's try this. Okay, so I don't want her to go. Okay, we'll just do flare. I really don't want to go. I don't know if I can. Can I switch? I'll just do defend. Oh, this is annoying. Okay, so let's see. Let's cast Leviathan. And it's okay if they kill me. That's just like, whatever. Okay, so I'll cast Leviathan, and then I'll have Bartz and Ferris skip their turn. Oh, no effect. That is just... I'm not having a good time right now for this example. Oh no, it happened again. Okay, hold on. I'll do defend with this one. Oh, they just ran off. Okay, so we'll do one more battle. Let's do one more battle so I can kind of demonstrate some of the cool things with some of these. So we'll do attack. If I die, it's kind of fine. I'm just doing this for fun. So I did Mimic with Krilly. Then I'll do... Oh no. Oh, this sucks. And so, like, I don't have any spells to counter a zombie, so I'll have to wait for Bartz's bar to fill up. Yeah, that's great. So that's kind of like the downside here. Let's do Gold Needle, because Ferris can also use items. And once Ferris is back in the game, we can de-zombify our little zombie here. Alright, we'll just do Mimic. Oh no! 2 zombies now. How strange. Oh, I guess I applied Gold Needle. That was the last attack that happened. So let's try to do Holy Water on Lena over here. There you go. And we'll do... Really? Okay. Alright, we're gonna be done with this. Can I run off? Oh, I can do teleport. Let me do teleport. Alright, some sporadic random gameplay. Alright, we're gonna have to teleport out of here as well. Now the video is taking a little bit longer than I wanted it to. But, again, demonstrating kind of like that you have all these different abilities that you can come back to. I believe that a zombie doesn't get fixed when you like throw a cottage down. So let's go ahead and fix that with some holy water. Or I think, what is it, Asuna helps. These loading times. There we go. Alright. So, oh, well, I have one holy water left. Alright, that's fine. And then magic. With magic. Was it Asuna that does it? Wait. Except KO and zombie. How do you cure a zombie? Is it holy? Do you just use holy? No, you don't. Well, this is fun. Well, I don't know how to fix that. Alright, I really just want to go through that one idea here. And see what we can get to, if we can get to a nice ending here. Such a fun game to play. Yeah, still a zombie. I don't have holy water anymore. I don't think I have like anything that can take care of it. Yep. That sucks. I'm glad that this is not part of my final playthrough. That would have been really upsetting. Okay, so we'll attack, and so this King Behemoth is actually one that will counterattack any magical attacks. But okay, so we'll defend, and then we'll cast Bahamut, and then eventually Ferris will get to it, and she'll be able to. Or not Ferris, Krilly will get to it, and she'll be able to show us what that looks like. Now, King Behemoth is gonna respond with Meteor, yeah, which could possibly kill Krilly, and then I have made this video way longer than it needs to be. Yep, she's dead. Okay, well that's wonderful. Alright, you all get the point. I guess that's gonna be it for now. Thanks for watching. Kind of an embarrassing ending here where I really wanted to show that, you know, we can cast Bahamut, but you could kind of see it before that, you know, whatever we do, even using items, will actually get mimicked, and that's such a cool little ability. And so you can kind of see like how many different options there are. You can also have a blue mage. Blue mage kind of, what is it, gets spells from defeating certain enemies, I believe. I haven't used really blue mage before. I've heard good things about the Chemist and Geomancer. Like, there's so many different classes, and you could run this in so many different ways and have characters work together in so many different ways. You know, you could have, you know, black magic. Like, whenever you master black mage, you have the ability to have 20% more MP. Like, what an amazing thing. And on top of that, there's an item, I think, the Golden Hairpin, that makes the cost of all of your abilities be half the MP. So you get more MP and you get half the MP usage, and you can just be a black magician that's just throwing everything behind it. Or a blue mage with that black magic ability to have more HP. And that is just the beauty of this game. I highly recommend to everyone to play it. And I will say that I'm not great at party building, but the Final Fantasy, like playing through some of the Final Fantasy games, definitely helped me. If you want to listen about my playthrough of Final Fantasy V, I have a podcast called YAF, yet another Final Fantasy podcast. Look it up. I'll try to drop a link below, but yeah, look it up, and you can listen to kind of me figuring this out and talking more about the class system as my understanding of it evolves, and as some of these ideas come to mind about how to structure your classes. But yeah, until next time.